Drinks, the lifeblood that keeps us alive. Water being an essential component to all life. Drinks are necessary to stay hydrated and provide different properties that benefits these flesh vessels. But some drinks are better than others. In this video, I will be providing my insight on the worst drinks imaginable, whether it's good for you, disgusting, or downright terrible for you. Some of the drinks that I will be talking about aren't for the faint of heart. So if you're eating something, I would suggest holding off on this video, as some of the concoctions get absolutely horrific. You have been warned. Of course, we have the usual sodas, energy drinks, alcohol, and more. But then we have more obscure, non-traditional drinks in quotations. Note, I am not a medical professional. This is all just my opinion. Don't sue me. One more thing before we start. If I forget a certain drink, my bad. I can always add some nasty drinks like garlic soda or hot dog water, stuff like that. But this video is more about the stats of different drinks and how nasty some of them sound to even consume. Plus, let's just have some fun with these disgusting drinks. And let's keep an open mind. Sorry for being annoying, but please like and subscribe. Thank you. With all that being said, and hoping I'm not forgetting anything important, it is I, the GOAT. Let us begin. Let's start off with an unhealthy drink that most of the world drinks. Soda. There's so many kinds of soda that exist. Common sodas, for example, Coca-Cola, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, Crush, and many more. They're all pretty bad for you health-wise. But which one's the worst soda? There isn't technically a worst soda because all soda is bad for you. But in my opinion, the worst of the worst soda would be Mountain Dew. Doing a stats comparison to Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew has more sugar, more caffeine, and more calories, but that's just looking at the surface of it. Looking into it a bit further, you can see where Mountain Dew gets worse. Just by looking at these pictures, you can tell there's a lot more ingredients in Mountain Dew, which isn't usually a good sign, by the way. Yellow 5 is a dye which at least isn't as bad for you as Red 40, so with the power of Mountain Dew, I give you the Red 40 Mountain Dew. I don't know why anyone would ever drink this, but just look at how red it is. That looks disgusting. Here's the stats if you care about it. I can't talk about it or the video will be too long. But this is the worst soda in my opinion, and pretty easily. But the drinks just get so much worse from here. Let's get to some healthy drinks now. I'll be switching from bad to good, then back again, and so on. Alright. Now this isn't a healthy drink whatsoever, but it is better than what most people think. Diet soda. Let's just look at Diet Coke as an example. Let's start off with the positives. Diet Coke has no sugar, and drinking it does help when you're craving sugar, and that's pretty much it for the good sides. And let's look at the downsides. The artificial sweeteners are terrible, and the ingredients they use are cancer-inducing, but everything is okay in moderation. You can drink soda from time to time, as long as it's not every day. Once a week is fine. Even like one every other day is okay. You can say that about most things though, so it's up to you whether you drink it or not. Diet soda is better than normal soda though. Not by a lot, but it's still something. Definitely not as bad as what people think it is though. The drinks are now getting progressively worse and better. And the drink at the end of the video is going to be absolutely horrific. I didn't want to look at the pictures, but you'll see. You'll see in a bit. We now move on to energy drinks / hydration drinks. These consist of Gatorade, Redbull, Monster, stuff like that. Gatorade is the least worst of these options, but Gatorade is very high in sugar and doesn't do the hydration part of the drink very well. Gatorade is a godsend compared to the rest though. Looking at Red Bull and Monster, they're very similar in stats. If we make Red Bull have 16 fluid ounces, they would have pretty much the same amount of caffeine and sugar. They're not bad, I guess, but I bet you weren't expecting this. The Sonic energy drink. This is so much worse than the other energy drinks. A 16 fluid ounce Sonic energy drink has 300 milligrams of caffeine. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? You should be careful drinking one of these if you don't want to die from cardiac arrest later on in life. Now let's move on to nature's energy drink, coconut water. Looking at the stats of coconut water of 240 milliliters or about 8 fluid ounces, comparable to 1 Red Bull worth of liquid. Coconut water is low in calories, has high mineral content, containing as much or more potassium than a banana, while having the sodium to actually hydrate your body. Coconut water is a little bit on the higher end when it comes to sugar and can cause you to get diarrhea, but it's definitely worth the trade in my opinion. Some energy drinks actually use coconut water as an ingredient, so that can tell you that it's pretty good as a natural energy source. If you don't drink coconut water, I would recommend it because it tastes pretty good, as well as providing you with those good nutrients. How about we move on to something disgusting this time? What's the first thing you think of when I say the sentence disgusting? Do you think of muddy water? Do you think of Flint, Michigan water? What about Indian water? How about a delicious taste of baby mice wine? Nutritional facts aren't well documented. I don't know why it would be. It's supposed to be medicinal, but there isn't much studies on that either. Baby mice wine is consumed in parts of South China and Korea. Baby mice wine is made by getting a bunch of little baby mice no older than 3 days and then drowning them in the wine. The wine then ferments for about a year, and then that's how you make the baby mice wine. I don't want to knock them for drinking that stuff because it's part of tradition and stuff like that, so I respect them for that. However, is drinking dead baby mice an actual tradition? I just don't get it. Would you drink baby mice wine? Because I sure for hell wouldn't. And sadly, this isn't even the worst thing on the list. It only just gets worse from here. Let's go to another good thing just so we could get that thing out of our heads. Instead of drinking something you don't know the properties of, how about drinking tea? Most teas are healthy for you, but for the sake of saving time, I'll be talking about green tea. Green tea offers various health benefits including improved heart health, better hydration, and potential weight management. It also contains antioxidants that may help protect against cell damage. Certain teas like Dishonorable and peppermint can aid digestion and reduce stress, which also is a benefit of green tea. Green tea is also a good study option, which can help you focus. Green tea does have a little bit of caffeine, but it has the least out of any caffeinated drink, I think. Green tea or tea in general is a great alternative. If you need something to drink, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's just go back to something nasty. Alright, I'm gonna give you 3 options. Out of these 3 options, which one do you think sounds the tastiest? Seagull wine, cow urine soda, panda crab tea. They all sound so delicious. But how about Dung smoked whale testicle beer? My favorite. When I was first doing research, I had a sneaking suspicion to which country that would actually drink this stuff. And of course it's Iceland. All of the gnarliest things are Icelandic for some reason. I don't think this has any nutritional factors to it, nor a traditional thing, like mice wine at least was. It could be a money laundering scheme, but that's just my opinion, because why would anyone drink this willingly? Just look at how tasty it looks. So good. Let's get to the last good thing before we step into the worst creation of mankind. We all know what the definitive number 1 best drink ever is. The all-beloved water/H2O. You know what's crazy? Some people actually don't like drinking water. Oh, but I don't like the taste of water. I don't like the taste of water. No, grow the hell up and drink your water. A nice, cold, refreshing cup of water is such a divine feeling people just don't appreciate enough. If you're out in the wild, all you can think about is having 1 sip of water before passing. There's no feeling that matches or even compares to having water. All of life requires water to survive. If there is alien life, have they evolved out of the stage of needing water to survive? Is water really that much of a requirement for life? Or is there a way to break away from that mode? But that's a topic for another video. That was just a random thought I had. But I do have some honorable mentions of good and bad drinks before we get to the worst of the worst. First off, I want to shout out all natural juice like orange juice, apple juice, pomegranate juice, etc. They just pack so many vitamins and minerals that they'll always be a good choice to have. Coffee is also another overhated drink that isn't as bad as people think. It only gets the bad rep due to cases of caffeine addiction, but in moderation, coffee isn't that bad. Last good honorable mention is milk. Milk has a lot of vitamins and minerals, good for your bones and especially children growing up. Drinking milk by itself is nasty though, which is why chocolate milk is the superior option. But of course, it's less healthy. For the bad honorable mentions, I'll be quick here because we have quite a bit. Alcohol is of course a bad choice, unless you're drinking and driving. Cactus juice, it's the quenchiest. Certain unhealthy, unnatural juices. 3 penis liquor. Tuna tears. Chinese boy piss. The Oreo shake from Baskin Robbins, if you know you know. The charged lemonade. And the kelp shake from SpongeBob because it turns you into this. Alright, that's enough stalling. Let's get to the actual worst thing I've ever seen. I want you to keep an open mind. What bodily fluids would you consider drinking? I think you know where I'm going with this. Semen beer. More specifically, stag semen beer. Thank God it's not human splooge. Does that make it better? No, not really. It's still semen. Stag semen is drunken in New Zealand. How it's made is getting semen from a stag, which is a large deer, and fermenting it with other ingredients to make beer. Okay, but honestly, stag semen beer doesn't even look that bad. Kind of just looks like a Guinness. I wouldn't even know there was splooge in there. Semen is also very high in zinc. Yeah, I'm not going over the stats of semen. I don't even know which drink is worse. I wouldn't want to drink any of these. At least this doesn't look as disgusting as baby mice wine. Like, why does... This is disgusting. Why would you ever drink this? I don't even want to look at these anymore, but I'm editing the video, so I'm gonna have to see these pictures way more. Well, that's all for today, fellas. I hope you... Well, that's all for today, fellas. I hope you didn't throw up looking at these disgusting drinks. There's definitely a lot more terrible drinks and things out there that I probably don't know of, thankfully. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. That only helps me out a lot. I appreciate the support. Alright, sorry for all the begging. Thank you for watching. Alright. Thank you, bye.